Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Paula, also known as The Snail Garden on social media, and I have an Etsy shop, Eva Faith, where I sell hand-dyed linen for cross-stitching. This is my January vlog. It's the end of January. Is it too late to say Happy New Year? A belated Happy New Year? I did intend to record earlier, but unfortunately I caught a cold and couldn't stop coughing. But that's all better now. This is my January vlog. After Vlogmas, I am back into the routine of recording once a month. My videos usually consist of a short introduction, a vlog of what I've been up to, which can include walks in the countryside, days out, crafty days, and sometimes some gardening. And then I come back and share my projects. I have some knitting and cross-stitch projects to share, so I'll be back after a short vlog. welcome back. I have quite a few projects to share. I have a big basket full of cross stitch. I have a couple of knitting projects and some wool applique. So in no particular order, I will start with the cross stitch projects because they are in front of me. Usually I will stitch on only one or two projects at a time, but Christmas time I decided to cast on all the things. And the first one, which is in this bag, is this Advent Sal from Soed. Now, as you can see, I haven't progressed very far, which is typical for me with sals. I love joining in, but I'm always behind, and I'm okay with that. I just enjoy the project. I am stitching this on 40 count shed roof, hand dyed by me, and I'm stitching 1/2 in the called for colours. Which are not very tidy, all right? The finished design has been turned into a drum, so I may well finish it like that. But I'm happy just to keep doing a little bit at a time. So, when you're behind on one sal, what is the most sensible thing to do? Well, if you're me, you join another sal. I don't know whose post it was on Instagram, but I saw that Atelier Perdu was doing a 4-part stitch along, and I couldn't resist. This colour is showing up slightly cooler than it is. I've had to close the curtain because the sun has come round. I've almost finished part 1, and this is part 2. I think I've started with part 4, and part 3 was this side, I believe. I'm not stitching this in the called for colours. This was charted in DMC. But I have started changing to some overdyed flosses in quite a sort of neutral colour palette. There is meant to be a tree here, but I haven't decided upon the colour. I'm stitching this 1/2 on 40 count birch that I've hand dyed. And this is the one I've been concentrating on this week. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to finish this one. Possibly as a picture. But I do love that cottage in the elongated cross stitch. Having cheeked a friend about how many projects she started at Christmas time, no names mentioned, I then proceeded to start quite a few myself. The first one is in this lovely project bag by Nicola of Bumble Stitches. She gifted this one to me, so it's appropriate that I have a chart she also gifted to me in here. Best Time of the Year by Brenda Givet. And this song has now been an earworm for me over most of Christmas. And I have been using the called for colours. That Nicola also gave to me as part of an Advent swap we did. And I have finished this one. And this is on 40 count linen hazelnut. And I have stitched this 1/2. The colours are looking slightly cooler today because I've had to draw the curtain because the sun has come round. I think that looks quite accurate. This one I will turn into a small pillow, and when I finished it I will stitch on the snowflake buttons that go with it. In my gingerbread bag that I made this past December, I made one for myself and one for Nicola. I have a little candy cane zipper pull. And in this I have Whittaker by Stacy Nash. And I am using all of the called for colours. And this one I am stitching on, oops, these upside down, 36 count sand. And so far I have just outlined him and put in the details. He's armless at the moment. And now I just have to fill him in and put his feet on. And this is 1/2 again. My next project is in this lovely Tilda bag. And this is the Gingerbread Angel Mouse by Just Nan. I do also have a cube to do. And I'm using most of the called for colours. I think I've substituted the pink simply because I had this one in stash. And I'm stitching this one 2/2 on 32 count gingerbread, hand dyed by me. As you can see, this won't take very long at all because it's a very small stitch. I think the most fiddly part will be stitching it together. I have quite a few Just Nan that I would like to do. This is the first one I've started. I think the colour is about right there. My next project is in this folder. That was an Advent gift from Nicola. And this is Rudolph and Friends by Brenda Gervais. A sweet little pillow. And I believe I'm using all of the called for colours. And I'm stitching this on 32 count. Spotty linen by Zweigart, for once not dyed by me. I think it's quite effective on the spots. Looks like it's snowing. So that shouldn't take too long to complete either. Now this one in a bag I previously made. This one I haven't even started. So this is my next start. And this was a Jingle Ball purchase. Go Tell It on the Mountain by Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. And I love this one and Baby It's Cold Outside, so I'm hoping to do both. And I started getting the called for colours from Stash. I don't know if I have all of them yet. And I will be stitching this on 36 count oak that I've hand dyed. It's about the right colour there. I think this and Baby It's Cold Outside will look good together. The other start I propose to do, it's the last one in my basket, is in this bag that I made. And this is Deck the Halls by Blackbird Designs. This is one of the first charts I started when I got back into cross stitching. I used to do a lot of cross stitching when I was younger, when my children were younger, and then I stopped and took up mostly knitting. And I had previously stitched this one, and I believe these are all on 36 count, yeah. And I naturally dyed these linens for this project. And I think this was the only other one I had done. And my plan is to stitch at least 4 of them on these different colours of linen that are all naturally dyed. I think they all go so well together. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do the one that's got a pelican, because if I can find it, I'm not sure that that's a appropriate for this country. Maybe a swan would be more appropriate there. Maybe, could I turn him into a swan? A smaller beak? Pretend he's a swan? We'll try that maybe. So those two are my next projects to start. Having started 2 sals and not kept up with either of them. Of course, there was a third one I started. This is just a black and white photo or copy. But No Time Like the Present by Modern Folk Embroidery. I've often admired these designs, but this one really spoke to me. I just loved everything about it. Of course, I'm behind on this already, and I'm okay with that. Mine is most likely to say 2025 when I finished it. Possibly 26, who knows. But I really love this design, and I will pop in a photo or a video of it because it's on a frame. It's a bit too big to hold up. And you'll see that I've fallen behind already, partly because I had a change of heart over my colours. And these are the 2 colours that I am using. And they are DMC 612 and DMC 924, which is a nice grey blue and a sort of brown gold colour. I did have a different gold, but it turned out too yellow, so I had to have a restart. My final cross-stitch project, which I'm not sure I should even be showing because I haven't done any more of it, is The Autumn Seasons of the Heart by Brenda Gervais. And I'm going to show it just to hold myself accountable. And this again is on 40 count linen 1/2. So you can see how far I've got with it. I hope to have at least the house done by the end of February. You can hold me to that. Christmas time, I also cut out and started some wool applique because I had a gingerbread tree in our kitchen. And I have started this house and cut out for this one and one other one. I think it's on this page, yes. And I have cut out the pieces for these 2. And this is in the buttermilk basin ornament extravaganza 2. I have made some of these before, and as you can see, I haven't got very far with that one. Even further behind with that one. But, oops, I am sewing the buttons on this one and then it will be finished. I have 2 knitting projects. Again, I'm going to share these to hold myself accountable. They are both in blue rabbit house bags. And I will pop a photo up of the pattern because I haven't got the pattern in here. Now this is Winter on My Mind by Melanie Berg, I think. You can tell I haven't looked at these recently. And I am knitting them on these lovely yarns by the Wool Barn. And it's an alpaca lace, 70% alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere. And they have a beautiful sheen from the silk, and they are very soft. You see the sun's moved around a bit more, shining on the yarn. And this is an asymmetrical shawl that, if I can get it the right way around, it started at the point, and it was garter stitch, then turned into garter stitch stripes. And I have now got to the beautiful lace section, which requires concentration. So this will be quite slow from now onwards. See, it matches my top colours. And it's quite a large shawl, which I like, but very lightweight because it's lace weight. And I'm knitting this on 3.25mm Chiaogu. It's my favourite Chiaogu. So again, holding myself accountable. My second project is in this blue rabbit house bag that was one of 2 Edinburgh Yarn Festival special editions. And this is a cardigan by Along Avec Anna. It is the Margot cardigan. And I am knitting this in ephemera, which is a 4-ply from Mr. B, or as he's now known as, or they are now known as, Bird Street. And this is a merino nylon mix. I'm going to have to remember what I was doing. And this is a top-down cardigan. This is the back, and it has lace raglan increases. And a V-neck, and once you get to the front, there is lace down the front as well. As you can see, I'm only a little way past the underarm. And again, I'm knitting these on Chiaogu, and these are 3mm. Those are my current projects, quite a few more than I usually have. But I have a little bit of stash enhancement. This lovely knitting crochet bag was a Christmas present from a friend. And this is by Janie Crow. And in it I have a Christmas present I gave to myself. I have some dandelion and dogwood yarn. And these are the 12 days of Christmas. She did her Christmas shop update. I could not resist. And these are all 4-ply. I also bought this lovely sock set. This is iced cinnamon stars. Four-ply twist again with a main skein and 2 minis. And finally, the bottle brush Christmas trees. Now I have a thing for bottle brush trees at Christmas time, so I had to have these. And these are a 4-ply merino sparkle. Thank you for joining me for my video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a lovely comment. I reply to all the comments because this is the reason that I actually do videos, is to be part of the community. And I hope you will hold me accountable for completing some of these projects during February. I have also been watching the lovely Molly of Molly Down of Linen and Scraps. And she is doing a hashtag fully finish February. So I am hoping to join and get quite a few of my previous projects fully finished, because I'm not very good at doing that either. So please join me at the end of February and see how well I've done. Bye.